Hi, everybody, and welcome to Your City, Your County. And we're pleased to be back here once again. We have a new guest that we haven't spoken with before. His name is Jesse Brinkmann, and he's the Algoma School Superintendent. Jesse?
Thank you for having me, Bob.
Nice to have you here today. It's always interesting to meet new people, and you haven't been on the job too long. When did you start, and where are you from?
Yes, so 4 months onto the job, started July 1st. It's been a great first 4 months. Just trying to meet as many people as I can, learn as much about the district as I can. My background comes from teaching in special education. I taught primarily at the elementary level, where most of my experience was, and after that I moved into administration. I was a elementary school principal for 8 years in the Green Bay School District, and then most recently the director of elementary schools in Green Bay, and now welcome to be here. So
Good. Well, they certainly have a good school district down there, and I've always been impressed with the various school districts in this area as well. So I congratulate you and welcome you to the area.
thank you very much. Yes, wonderful school district here in Algoma. That's really what drew me to the position and encouraged me to apply, was doing the research and looking at the website and talking with different stakeholders throughout the community. There is a lot of community support for education in this town, and without that, I think it makes the job of educators much more difficult. And so we're appreciative of all the support from community members, business leaders, city officials. So
Great. And I noticed how well Algoma gets along with all the other school districts in the area. It seems like there's a lot of cooperation, which is something to be very proud of, I think.
yeah, so there's 3 school districts in Kewaunee County, 3 within the county, and then 4 if you include Denmark School District, pulls some students from Kewaunee County. But the 4 superintendents have met regularly. We are trying to kind of look at what programming we can offer to our students. The field of education, specifically at the high school level, is much more different than what it was years ago. We have the goal of trying to make sure that every student is able to walk out of when they graduate with some type of college or technical school credits that they can continue on when they decide to graduate, whether they go to a 4-year or a 2-year degree, or if they decide to go into workforce or the military. And so trying to figure out what our students' interests are right now is our primary focus. And one of the things we've heard is the need for agriculture and education around that. So we are working closely with the Luxembourg Casco School District, Kewaunee School District, Denmark School District, as well as some local businesses. And we are trying to start an agriculture education program within the 4 school districts. And so we are inviting the public actually to come out on December 3rd from 7:30 to 2:30 to Luxembourg Casco High School is where we're going to hold the meeting. And we want to hear from any stakeholders that are involved with agriculture. So that could be farmers, business owners, FFA alumni, parents, students, anyone that you can imagine. We want to hear from them. What skills, what type of education, training are you wanting to see in your employees so we can better prepare our students for the field of agriculture? So if you're interested in coming, please RSVP to this event. There's a link on our district website, algomaschools.org, that you can apply or RSVP. That's just going to help us give a accurate number of how many heads we can account for and accommodate with seating and everything. But we welcome anyone and everyone that would like to come to this event.
Will that meeting be the whole time? I mean, should you come there at the beginning and plan to stay until the end?
Correct, yeah. So we're going to do various activities that are going to kind of build off each other. So we'll be starting at 7:30 in the morning.
Okay, and that's on December 3rd, and that'll be at Luxembourg Casco.
At their high school, correct.
At their high
yes.
school.
Mhm.
Okay. Very good. We'll mention this again later.
Sounds great.
Just as kind of a reminder. Having come from a situation with special ed and then being with the younger children, at the grade school and that sort of thing. Do you find that there's a lot of things that you have to learn that are different with high school? Has that been kind of a change for you?
It has been a great opportunity for me to learn. Education is education, and so our goal is to make sure that every student is successful, meeting their needs, whatever it would be. So individualizing education as much as possible and differentiating what we can do with our students. And so whether you are a 4-year-old attending our 4K program or you're a senior, we are going to try and meet your needs wherever you're at and make sure that you are successful. So.
Good. Do you find that there's pretty good coordination between the grade school, the middle school, and the high school?
Yeah, so we have started some work this year around that. We're doing things called professional learning communities, or PLCs, our teachers call them, where they get together once a week. They talk about students and what their academic needs are, what their social emotional needs are, and we strategically plan for the instruction around that. And so what we're trying to do more of is that cross collaboration between the elementary school and our middle school and high school. So a prime example was our math department. So 5th and 6th grade is housed at the elementary school, and they teach their math with one curriculum resource. And then when they get to middle school, up at the other building, we have another teacher that teaches math. And so how do we blend these two together to make sure that the teachers are understanding where the students are coming in at and where they need to be when they leave them at the end of the year? So,
Oh, that's great.
so
I know where I'd gone to school, which was in a larger district, that we had the grade school was one school district, and the high school was actually a different school district. So there was kind of a, not a mix-up or anything, but I don't think there was the coordination that there could have been between what we called grade school, which was K through 8, and then with the high school. So I think it's really important that you look at it with that aspect.
right, exactly.
And there's definitely, I'm sure, as you know, certainly as superintendent, the changes and psychological changes and everything that kids go through going from grade school, into the upper grades.
Correct, yeah. There's that developmental stages that students go through as they get older, and so as well as the social emotional needs that students are coming with, trying to meet everything that we can with our students. So.
Okay. Before we got started on the air here, you and I were talking a little bit about some of the other school programs. You mentioned about the proposed agricultural programs. Tell me about a few of the others that you look at and that you're presenting now.
You bet. So being new to the district, this is something that I am just amazed with how many different programs we are able to offer for such a small school district. Some examples that I just would like to highlight, and there are many, many more that would take much longer than the time that we have today, but I would like to just highlight that we have a 3K program, or a 3-year-old daycare program that's housed right at the elementary school. And so families are able to pay for their service, having daycare available. We also offer a program called Little Stars for our students. So any students that have some special needs, whether it's speech and language or physical therapy, occupational therapy, they can qualify for services, and those are received right at the elementary school. We also have a 4K program, 4-year-old kindergarten program, and most districts' 4K programs are usually half days, and they're 4 days a week. Here in Algoma, we think it's really important to have our students receive as much support, education, because we know developmentally by providing these things at an early age, it will only make them become more successful as they get older. So in Algoma, we offer a full day 4K program 5 days a week. So we have dedicated 3 4K teachers that are with the students all day long. So.
Do they get to sleep during the middle of the day?
There is a little bit of a rest time, but I would say most students probably don't take advantage of that rest time. So.
Yes. I remember having thrown the rugs on the floors,
Yep.
and the kids would all be sleeping on the floors. And my family said, no, it's too drafty down there, and you're going to have to sit up.
Right.
And so, it's one of those, things that you remember
Right.
for a few, here I am, a little older now. And what other special programs do you offer? What other unique features?
You bet. So we are in our second year of our charter school, which is called Algoma Venture Academy, or you may hear it as referred to as AVA. And that's a project-based charter school. It's housed out of our middle school and high school building, and it's for 7th through 12th graders. So it's a separate school, but it's located within our middle school and high school. And the focus for this programming is to really support the students that just really weren't being successful in your traditional classrooms. They do a lot of project-based learning that's individualized to what they want to learn about. So we take the same standards, the academic standards that are required for us to teach, and we apply them into projects that the students select. They do their research, they do the presentations, they do all of the work basically. And that's modeled through our teachers that are part of this program. They're there meeting with the students daily, often many times a day, just to make sure that they're on track with their own learning. They have targets that are set for them, and they have to meet those targets within certain deadlines. So,
Can you, not to put you on the spot, but can you give me a couple of examples
You bet.
of like what these kids would be doing?
sure. So we have a student. He's a senior this year. He loves charter fishing, and so he actually worked over the summer as a first mate out of a charter company out of both Algoma and Kewanee, but he wrote an actual grant and was able to secure funding for taking out some district employees, including myself, over the summer to go out on a charter fishing trip that he led with us.
Wow.
And so there was a process of writing that grant, doing the research for it, making sure he had all the supplies, materials for the trip. So it could be a week-long project, it could be a year-long project. It's really what the students select. So, but
And in the meantime, they're learning, I'm sure, the other skills of English and math
You
and
bet. Yep.
history and that
Yep.
sort of thing.
So within that grant, he had to do some math work to make sure that all the accounting pieces were accounted for. He had to do writing through the grant proposal, make sure that what he was putting down on paper was accurate and made sure it sounded professional. He had to do some professional speaking for it. So it's applying what we try to teach our students in just a different method. So.
Wonderful. I think when I was going to school, and a lot of people were going to school, everything was very centered, and if you were different, they forced you into their way of thinking.
Right.
Now, are these people, are they the students that would be going to the charter school, do they have just a different way of learning? Is it emotionally centered? Or?
It is by student selection, so if they want to apply for the charter school, they are welcome to. There's an application process, an interview process that they go through. Parents are encouraged to be along the whole way. They have to actually sign off at the end, giving approval for the student to be into the charter school. So it's a process that goes as quickly as the families would like to. So if there's any families out there that would like to learn more about it, they can definitely contact the middle school and high school, and we would love to set up a meeting with them or give them a tour of the facilities and show them a little bit more of what's offered. So,
do they then transfer later back into the regular high school, or would they be just basically a graduate of the charter school?
yeah, it can go both ways. We've had students that have tried the charter school and found some success with it, but thought, maybe I need to go back and do more of the traditional approach. We've had some students that have started in the charter school, have loved it, and they've want to maintain that until they graduate. And they would receive the same high school diploma when they leave after that the students would in the traditional school. Some of our classes, the students kind of transfer transfer in between. So like, for example, band. So if students are in the charter school and they want to still take band, they're able to do both of those. So there's
Great.
elective classes that they can choose.
How many how many students do you have in the charter school?
Yeah, so right now we're at 39 students.
Wow.
And we have the capacity to go up to about 45 students right now. So
That's great. And how many students do you have in the Algoma School District altogether?
yeah, so our last count, which was in September, we did our third Friday count. We were about 683 students. So, and that's all the way through 4K through 12th grade. So,
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good percentage then that's going actually to the charter school.
yeah.
Certainly not half or anything
Right.
like that. My math wouldn't be that great anyway. So, very good. One of the big questions that a lot of people ask is, well, what about financing? How does the district maintain its functionality? How does it work with staff? How does it work with new construction or maintaining the building?
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about your overall feelings about financing and kind of how that's working out.
Yeah, so school finance is a very complicated field. There's a lot that goes into school finance, but I've been learning a lot, working with some great mentors, and we have been using Baird services, so Baird Financial Services as a support for our district, and it's been working pretty well with them. And so what I have learned, and what we just finished our proposed budget and was approved by our school board back in October. And so that will be coming out. It's public, I think, on our website currently. And so what I can tell the taxpayers is that the levy is remaining the same for school finance. We thought it was very important to keep that stable because we know families are being hit with inflation right now. And it's important to also realize that schools are being hit with that same inflation rate too. So because families are paying more for groceries, we are paying more for food prices as well to serve our students. Fuel costs, we're paying more to run our buses and our vans. So we are going to work within the means that we have. And our mill rate will actually be dropping $1.27 this upcoming budget year. And then we also have our ESSER funds that we've been using as well. And so we have until fall of 24 to use those, 2024. And so those funds, which are dollars from federal and state for COVID relief, are being used for increasing mental health for our students. We've added a position that really focuses on some of the counseling services, working with the families to make sure that students are attending regularly. We also purchased a new school bus. We were in the need for a new bus. And so we're trying to find some opportunities that would not put us on a financial cliff, being that these expenditures are annual expenditures. We're trying to find things that would be a one-time expense that we can use some of the ESSER funds for.
Good. Well, it's good to have those extra funds, and I know the state also contributes money
Yes.
as well. Do you see any building projects coming up at all?
So the current project we're working on right now is our middle school and high school library. We have recently just renovated that. We put new carpet, we've got new bookshelves. We placed an order for some new furniture that's going to be coming in shortly, and so we're excited to get that up and running. We've heard from our students that they need a quiet study space that they can go to. They've loved checking out books. We've increased some of the books that we have in our library for our students, and so our goal is to get that finished up before the holidays, hopefully. And so it's going to be a welcome space for our students.
Cool. So that sounds great. Very good. I know in the school district, Sturgeon Bay, where I've been kind of involved on the board, and it seemed as though when we would get done spending the money for one program for maybe some construction, then we would take out another loan, which would continue from there so that it maintained that level. And I would imagine that that's something that's known by a lot of superintendents.
Correct, yeah. That's something our board is looking at closely right now. And There's going to be some decisions that are going to have to be made probably going forward here around those types of things that you just referenced. But yeah, right now we're just in the discussion stage.
Okay.
So.
One thing that Algoma is known for is the Wellness Center, which was
Yes.
established just, gosh, I don't know, a couple of years ago.
Correct.
Some people may not be familiar with that. If you can explain a little bit more about that and who can use it.
Yeah, so our wellness center is just a gem to our community. I think it is a great space that anyone can come to. They can take classes, fitness classes that happen regularly, daily. They can come and just use the equipment, the treadmills, the weightlifting machines. They can come there just to socialize. We offer regular health screenings to anyone that comes, so blood pressure checks. Our school nurse does that. We've done some courses around just wellness for the community. So I encourage anyone out there that's looking for a space to just connect with other people, to socialize, as well as that want to just become healthier, to come check us out. So.
What kind of hours do you have over there?
So the Wellness Center is open. When you get a membership, you get a key card access. So you have access to that facility 24 hours a day, I believe. And so you can come and you can use any of the equipment that you want. It's staffed from 7 in the morning, I believe, until 6 at night.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the students use this as well?
Correct, yes. So our students use it after school. They use it sometimes during the day for some of our phy-ed classes, but it also is our weight room for our students that are in athletics. So.
Wow, so that's great. So you probably see a little mixture of adults and students
We
at
do,
the same
we
time.
do, and it's great to see that interaction between the two groups. One of the big highlights, I think, is pickleball. So we have a lot of community members that love to come out every day and play pickleball in our auxiliary gym, and we've incorporated some of the students into playing with them. It's just all around a fun event. So.
I remember for one of the organizations I was involved in, we had a pickleball tournament up in Sturgeon Bay, and it was fun. It was
Yes.
exciting to watch, and worked out pretty good.
Yes.
Wasn't the best fundraiser we've ever had, but it was fun. We had a good time. It seems as though every time, we're watching TV, we hear about situations of where there's shootings, where there are people being hurt, people being stabbed. I'm sure when you went to school, that probably wasn't as big a thing, and I know for me it wasn't. Maybe you'd have a fist fight somewhere, but that was the exception to the rule. At this point, so many people are talking about security. What kind of plans do you make, or what is Algoma doing to kind of protect the student body and the teachers and the safety
Sure.
of everyone?
Yeah, so school safety is number one priority, given the world that we live in right now, and there could be a threat made at any moment in time. So being prepared and having the resources at your fingertips whenever you need them is really important. So one of the things we have worked on this year with school safety is making sure that every staff member has a one-page plan document to respond to different types of situations. So it could be an active shooter, it could be a bomb threat that the district, for example, faced last year in fall or in spring. It could be a missing child, it could be a medical situation. So this document lays out specifically what staff need to do in response to a given situation, as well as what does the administrative side look like. So they're the ones coordinating the efforts, making sure that everyone remains safe. But the teachers are the first line of defense, and they're the ones with the students. And so it's critical that they're trained and they have the resources that they need. All of our classrooms have a medical first aid bag with them that their teachers would take in the event of a situation. Communication is also important to all stakeholders, whether that's through the staff members, the students, and the community and parents. And so a few weeks ago, we were faced with one of the school threats that was called in. We received the call to the police department, and the police department then notified the school district immediately, and we responded within seconds. We made sure that all the doors were secure. We made sure that we did a walkthrough of the building to check that building was safe. Then we notified the staff, we notified parents, we notified students. We had the police presence on the school grounds for the rest of the day. And having two buildings, it's really important that both buildings are in the know of the situation as well, because what's happening at one building may not be happening at the other, but it could also be related to.
Yeah, you could have both buildings under duress, I guess
Correct.
you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we always make sure that our entrances are secure. So all doors, exterior doors are locked. So the only way into the buildings is through the front entrance, and you have to be buzzed in by the clerical that's sitting at the desk. So
Mhm. Okay, good. I think one of the important things you mentioned there was parents. It's got to be certainly on all parents' mind that, gee, something like this could happen. And I think it's a very important thing you're doing with keeping the parents informed.
yes, exactly. Parents need to be a partner with us in these types of situations, and I can assure parents that we will communicate as much and as often as we can when situations like this happen. Our first line of action is to make sure that everyone's safe, and so once that's happening, communication will be the second piece. So
Because the parents and the kids are putting a lot of trust in what the Algoma schools do.
that's correct, yes, and we don't take that we take the trust very seriously. So.
Yeah, that's great. Well, it sounds like you've taken a lot of good steps in that direction. In getting, and you mentioned that you'd been on the job now for 4 months. Do you think you know most everybody in the district now?
No, not everyone. One of my goals for myself as the leader of the district is to just get to know people, like I said earlier. And so what I've established with our staff members is I have a goal for myself. By the end of January, I will have shadowed every single employee in the district for at least 2 hours. And so staff signed up on a spreadsheet, and so I've been spending much of my days in classrooms working with kids, but also seeing what is happening firsthand in our classrooms, in our lunchrooms, with our food service, with our bus drivers, with our custodians, everyone that has an impact on students. I would like to see what they do. And that's going to help me better understand just how the district operates, but really to understand and get to know the employees on a level that's important and get to know the students as well. So I'm working on getting to know staff members' names. I think I've got pretty much all of those. Next step is get to know the students. So, yeah.
That's great. Have you done any cooking in this
Funny you say
period?
that. Yeah, last week I was actually shadowing in our middle school and high school cafeteria, and so I was put to work and got to serve some breakfast sausages during their lunch.
Cool.
So it was a great opportunity because I got to interact with the kids, but also get to see what it's like to be in our cafeteria and what goes into serving our students every day. So.
Well, I think it's wonderful for the kids, too, to say, oh, there's the superintendent, there's Mr. Brinkmann,
Yes.
And look, he's serving the sausages
Yep.
today. Have you been cleaning floors?
I have cleaned floors, yep.
Good.
I've taken out the garbage. I've helped teach kindergarten classrooms, helped put away books on the bookshelf, so, yep.
That's great. And I think, and I remember from my days with the school board that it's so important that every employee is an important part of the district, whether
Correct.
they be, a teacher, principal, student guidance individual, or whether they're, doing the janitorial work or making the meals. They're all an important part
We all
of
are.
the program.
Yep. If we weren't able to have, let's say, meals being served or get our students to school thanks to our bus drivers, there wouldn't be school. So every single employee in the district is valued, and we appreciate all that they do. So
Okay. Well, when I see you driving the school bus, I'll know that.
maybe coming soon. I need to work on that bus license right now.
Boy,
So.
oh boy. Okay. Well, let's go through one more thing that you mentioned earlier, and I said we'd come back to this.
Yes.
That's what's happening on December 3rd. If you could cover that again
Bet.
with the agriculture.
So we are looking at developing an agriculture education program. It's going to be in collaboration with Kewanee School District, Luxembourg Casco, Denmark, and Algoma School District. And so our hope is to provide training opportunities, provide our students with skills, experiences based off of what it is that we would like the agriculture field to have our students come with. And so we want to hear from the public on December 3rd from 7:30 to 2:30 at the Luxembourg Casco High School. We want to hear from all stakeholders, farmers, business owners, FFA alumni, students, parents, anyone that's involved with agriculture to come out and let us know what skills, what types of employment opportunities are out there for our students. And we want to tailor what we're doing in our schools to meet those needs. Agriculture is an important part of our community in Kewanee County. So we can't do this alone. We need to do this together. And so inputs can be very important. Anyone that's interested to come out can RSVP. And there's a link on our district website on the front homepage. So please fill that out and that will be helpful.
Okay, and it's open to students too, you said?
Students as well, yes.
Very good. Mark that down, December 3rd. Okay.
December 3rd.
All right. Jesse, we have run out of time. All of these shows, I always go, what are we going to talk about? And it has been no shortage of things to talk about. So we thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bob, for
being
having
with
me.
us.
Thank you.
We've been meeting with Jesse Brinkmann, who is the Algoma School Superintendent now for 4 months. And that's going to do it for our program today for your city, your county. And we hope that you have a good week and a good month. And we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.